Welcome, welcome. We're starting our next project, the lantern. So this is going to be a 3D project. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited to show you. So let's just check out some examples of what these may look like when they're done. So here's some examples. Now ours for this are going to be a little bit more colorful, and we'll explain that in a few days. But you can get the basic idea of where we're going with this. You're going to get to choose some different shapes and play around with those before committing to what one you want to use as your big final lantern piece. But they're going to end up looking something like this. Now we don't have lights in your art kit, but that is something you can just get a string light and add it to yours if you'd like to hang it at your home and display it proudly, as you should, because it's going to be amazing. All right, so before we start just building, obviously we need to do some brainstorming and some learning and some comprehension. So the basics of this 3D project is going to be geometric shapes. So let's get a better understanding for what geometric shapes are and what they entail, and names, because we're going to be using a lot of these words, right, this vocabulary. So go ahead and in step 2 where it says geometric shapes, you're going to click on that and watch that video. So do that first, then come back to this. So I'm going to you're going to pause the button here, go watch that, then come back. Okay, pause. Okay, I'm not actually paused, but hopefully you did and you watched that now. So we saw some of the geometric shapes in that video, but we didn't see all of them. So let's check out more, because you might want to go a little bit more extreme and up in the numbers as far as how many sides there are to those shapes. So there's more than what we just saw. La la la. In fact, oh no, I'm blocking some of them. Give me a second. I'm going to hide for a moment here. And there you go. Now we can see a whole bunch more shapes than the ones that we just saw in the video. So if you'd like some more time checking out some of these shapes, come on into our slides. You can click on that link too, just to see some of the other ones. There's more shapes than this too, but I figure if we went up to 10, that's probably more than 10 sides, I should say. That's probably more than anyone's going to be doing for this, at least on the 2D level. Of course, once we make it 3D, it's going to have more than that, but I digress. Let's continue that later, because these 2D geometric shapes can, of course, then be made three-dimensional. And that, my friends, is where we're going to be starting today, is just getting that concept of how do we turn these 2D shapes. Like, for example, if we look here at the pentagon, so that's going to be on the left-hand side in pink, and then just below it you can see the dodecahedron, which is basically a whole bunch of the pentagons put together in a 3D way. All right, I know that's a lot right there, isn't it? All right, well, let's practice this. We're going to start a little more simple today. We're not going to go quite that crazy yet. So let's go back to what we're up. So we're going to begin practicing making 2D shapes 3D. Now, you could watch this video, or you could just watch what I'm about to show you here. Okay, so we are going to be making a total of 3 different shapes 3D. We're going to start with a square, and we're going to make it a cube. We're going to do a triangle, make it a pyramid, and a circle, and make it a cylinder. So get out a pencil and a straight edge, like a ruler. I am, instead of a pencil, I'm going to be using a marker, just so it's easier to see on the screen here, like so. Okay, and here we go. So I'm going to start off by making a square. I'm just going to go kind of small because I want to fit all 3 of them on my piece of paper. This is not any kind of special fancy paper, just whatever you got, okay? It could even be lined paper for this practice. That's okay. We're just getting some practice in making 2D shapes 3D. Let's see. I'm going to make mine I think 2 inches by 2 inches, just so I have enough room. And let's see. So there's 2 inches that way. Once again, I'm starting off with a square. 2 inches. And I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping these as parallel as I can. Of course, I could be more exact, but for this practice, the goal is really to get that comprehension of how do we make a 2D shape into a 3-dimensional shape with a square. There it is. All right, so how do we make that 3D, you guys? Well, check this out. We're going to take this square, we're going to basically copy, paste it, just up and off to a corner, okay? I'm going to put mine over here, but it could be there, it could be here. I'm going to choose to put mine here. So I'm going to go up and over a bit. Actually, sorry, lies. Because I want to make this a cube, I'm going to start by going kind of diagonal, back like that, and I'm going to go 2 inches. And notice how I'm going through. Do you see how it's like not off like that or this? I'm going to go 2 inches back in space so that it would go through there, but it's not going to because it's only 2 inches, right? So here's 1, 2 inches. So it's only going to go like that. Okay? And then sticking on that line, I'm going to do 2 more inches back in this direction. 1, 2. Okay? Do the same thing here. 1, 2. And here. I'm trying to stay as parallel as I can. 1, 2. All right. Let's connect those lines now. So I'm going to connect this bottom one to that bottom one. And yep, it's 2 inches. That's great. And I'm going to connect this one to that one. Noticing again, it's 2 inches. Fantastic. And this one to that one. 2 inches. Beautiful. And you can probably tell we need to go that back one there yet. And that is 2 inches. Now, it's not, like, this actually did work out quite perfectly. It's not maybe always going to be so perfect, but there we go. We just turned a square into a cube. Yay us. All right, next one. Triangle into a pyramid. Here we go. We've got 2 inches and 2 inches. I think this might be, yeah, this is a little bit off. My angles were a little off on this one, I could tell right away, but that's okay. You guys get the point. If you have a pencil, you can always erase it and make it a little bit more perfect. Something like that, though. Okay? To make it look 3-dimensional, I am going to bring it from the tip down a bit like that. I'm only going to go about 1 3/4 inches, just because it's going back in space. And then just like that. Okay? So with a pyramid, you're only going to be able to see kind of one side of it. If you wanted to, you could show the insides like we did here, which the insides would actually be a rectangle, right? So, actually that might be right around there and there. So this would show coming down here and across, because the base of it would actually be a square for a pyramid. So it might look something kind of like that if we were to see the inside of it. Like how we see the inside of that one. Okay, last but not least, the cylinder. Now you might want to start off with something that is a circle. So the only thing with that is, when we start off with a perfect circle, if we were to see it as a perfect circle, we'd be looking from the top down, right? Which then you wouldn't actually see anything. So that's a problem. So let's start off then with more of an oval shape, right? because if you're looking at it where you can see the side, you're not looking top down, kind of like this. You can't really, well, I should go this way. You can't really see all of it, right? So, but if I turn it like this, notice how that becomes more of an oval shape, and that's when we see the cylinder. So here, all we got to do then is bring those edges down, the same amount on each side. And we want to repeat this curve here. We're going to repeat it right there. Voila, we've got a cube, a pyramid, and a cylinder. Congratulations, that's what you had to do for today. For next class, you want to make sure that you have paper, pencil, straight edge. Start gathering your hot glue gun and your hot glue sticks. And then you also want to start finding little tiny sticks. So it could be like toothpicks, work fabulous for this, or go outside and just gather some twigs. We're going to need those for when we start making mini models of this. So, hope you had fun, hope you learned lots, and can't wait to see what you create.